Hello and welcome to another interesting episode of Viva Barca, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting stories. We start with this young gem, Lamine Yamal, as Barca have reached full agreement with the La Masia prodigy over a long-term contract, according to Fabrizio Romano. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this report claiming that Real Betis have made a formal approach for this Barcelona target that Xavi really likes in form of Giovanni Lo Celso. We are also going to be discussing about that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please, if you haven't subscribed, endeavor to hit the subscribe button. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. It was reported yesterday that Lamine Yamal could soon sign a professional contract with Barcelona. Today, after turning 16 years old, the player has reached a full agreement with Barca over a long-term professional contract. The new three-year deal will valid until June 2026, according to report from Fabrizio Romano. The Italian journalist points out that Yamal's agent Jorge Mendes has an agreement in place with FC Barcelona. The deal could soon be made official in what could prove to be an important milestone for the club as they look to restructure the squad ahead of the new season. Yamal has shown immense potential during his time at the club, he notably becoming the youngest star ever player to feature for Barca after making his debut against Real Betis towards the end of last season. His explosive speed, coupled with his dribbling skills, instantly raised eyebrows. Now, as Barcelona look to offload Ferran Torres, having someone like Yamal could prove to be critical for coach Xavi Hernandez. The 16-year-old has shown great potential so far in his youth career. He could, therefore, become a reliable attacking option for Xavi next season, perhaps as an alternative for Fati, Rafinha, or Ousmane Dembele on the ranks. While Dembele is in talks with Barcelona over a potential new deal, the future of Ferran Torres remains uncertain due to their relatively poor campaign last term. He has been linked with moves away from the club this summer. Yamal, who has the flair to succeed at Barca, can offer the creative essence in the final third. However, the youngster must prove himself at the highest level first before he becomes a first-team regular. For the time being, Yamal will be part of the first team, but play for Barca Athletic when he is not seeing too much action with the senior team. Of course, a lot of is spoken about Lamine Yamal and a potential new contract in recent weeks. This is a guy who have really impressed many Barca fans, a young star, and I think he's the future if Xavi can groom him very well to become that. Yamal is a great player, great potential. He played just one game last season towards the end of the season when he came in as a substitute in the second half against Real Betis at the Camp Nou Spotify, and I think he was really brilliant and almost scored a goal. And Xavi has been reportedly very impressed by the young star. Laporta himself have been very impressed, and they have really been willing to give a new contract to the player who have already turned 16. And of course, when you are 16 years old, you are now eligible for a professional contract, and that is what Barca are planning to do, as Fabrizio Romano have reported that Barcelona have they have finally reached a full agreement with the player's representative over a long-term contract. And not to forget, Josh Mendes, who is very close to Laporta, close to Barca as a whole, is the agent of Lamine Yamal. Of course, still the agent of Ansu Fati. I think that great relationship that Josh Mendes have with Laporta have really made things to be easily reached, an agreement to be easily reached for the player who recently turned 16 yesterday, and I think he'll be so happy about this. Yamal wants to stay, and of course, Xavi wants him to be there for a long time. Talking about building the club, I think keeping Yamal would be a great thing for us. We know that we are a club now in a transitional phase, and I think keeping these young stars right now, um, rather than spending millions out there, I think this is a great way to do it. And of course, bringing the young stars from La Masia, grooming them to become world-class talents is what we need as fans, especially when the club is in a current situation where financially we are broke. We can't sign some valuable players out there, and I think this is just the right thing to do. Give some trust to some of these young stars and give them the contract so that they can stay for the foreseeable future. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Barca face Tottenham Hotspur in the upcoming Joan Gamper Trophy game in less than a month. Ironically, the two clubs are in contract or in contact perhaps over transfer operations more than meets the eye. The Catalans hope to offload Clement Lenglet to the English side in the upcoming days. The French star spent the past season on loan in London and interests the club as a candidate to move permanently. Barca in turn have their eyes set on Lo Celso. The Argentine will continue to participate in Spurs pre-season for now, but it is well known that Barca have him on their radar as a possible alternative for their primary midfield target Bernardo Silva. The midfielder spent last season at Villarreal, leaving a positive impression with his abilities in the middle of the park. Xavi is in love with the player's profile and sees him as a perfect addition to his already daunting midfield. Despite a strong interest in the Argentine, Barca have been unable to make a move so far, owing to their tight finances. Their inability to make a move has opened the doors for other clubs, and Real Betis appear to have capitalized. According to reports from Sport, Los Verdeblancos have pounced on their chance to have already made a formal approach to bring Lo Celso on loan to the Benito Villamarín. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.